So I hope that this will show a new dimension or path to help our peoples of all our country and all the region.
While addressing the dialogue, the Indian Prime Minister, who moderated the event, proposed formation of an emergency fund to face the COVID-19, saying India would immediately contribute $10 million.
We create a COVID-19 emergency fund. This could be based on voluntary contributions from all of us. India can start with an initial offer of $10 billion for this fund.
Presidents of Sri Lanka, Maldives, Afghanistan, as well as Prime Ministers of Nepal and Bhutan also delivered speeches, joining the video conference from the capitals of their respective countries. Besides, Pakistan Minister of State for Health, Dr. Zafar Mirza, delivered speech at the dialogue on behalf of his country. Awami League General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir has said the matter of shutting down the country's educational institutions is under consideration at the highest level of the government to prevent the coronavirus. He said this while briefing newsmen at the party president's political office of Dhanmandi in Dhaka today. Obaidul Qadir announced a series of programs scheduled to be presented marking the birth centenary of Bangabandhu on the 17th March.
সকাল 6:30 সংগঠনের সকল কার্যালয় জাতীয় দলীয় পতাকা উত্তোলন, সকাল 7টায় বঙ্গবন্ধু ভবন প্রাঙ্গণে জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের প্রতিকৃতিতে শ্রদ্ধার্ঘ অর্পণ। টুঙ্গিপাড়া আওয়ামী লীগ সভাপতি আমাদের নেত্রী দেশরত্ন শেখ হাসিনার নেতৃত্বে আওয়ামী লীগ জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের সমাধিতে শ্রদ্ধার্ঘ নিবেদন এবং দোয়া মাহফিল, অসহায় দুঃখ এতিমদের মাঝে খাবার, বস্ত্র, করোনা ভাইরাস প্রতিরোধের ব্যবহার্য সামগ্রী বিতরণ। রাত 8টায় জাতির পিতা বঙ্গবন্ধু শেখ মুজিবুর রহমানের জন্মক্ষণ উপলক্ষে সারা দেশে একযোগে আতশবাজি প্রদর্শনী ও ফানুস উত্তোলন হবে। এ নিয়ে আমাদের দেশে উদ্বেগ আছে, উৎকণ্ঠা আছে আমাদের জনগণের মধ্যে। এ নিয়ে দুশ্চিন্তা আছে, কারণ বাংলাদেশ খুব জনবহুল দেশ। এখানে এই ধরনের একটা ভাইরাস ছড়িয়ে পড়লে তার প্রতিক্রিয়া কি হতে পারে। চীনই দেখছি এই রোগের সংক্রমণ এবং এর বিস্তার রোধ করার ব্যাপারে সাহায্য সহানুভূতির হাত তারা প্রসারিত করবেন এমনই আভাস দিয়ে তারা একটা চিঠি আমাদের দিয়েছে। স্কুল কলেজ বন্ধের ব্যাপারে একটা দাবি উঠেছে, বিষয়টি উচ্চ পর্যায়ে আলোচনাও আছে, আমাদের ভাবনাও আছে। আমরা বিষয়টি গভীরভাবে পর্যবেক্ষণ করছি, সময় মতো বিষয়টির ব্যাপারে প্রয়োজনীয় পদক্ষেপ নেওয়া হবে।
Earlier, Obaidul Qadir attended a joint meeting of Dhaka North and South City Awami League. Mayors of the two city corporations and secretaries of Awami League attended the meeting. Replying to journalists, Obaidul Qadir said the government is totally discouraging new arrival of the expatriates from the coronavirus-infected countries. Stern measures will be taken to this effect, he added. Awami League Presidium member Jahangir Kobir Nanok, Joint General Secretaries Mahbub Alam Hanif, Dr. Deepu Moni, Dr. Hassan Mahmood and AFM Bahauddin Nasim, among others, were present at the joint meeting.
Thailand Ambassador to Bangladesh Arun Rangphotung Humphreys made a courtesy call on Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry at her Jatiya সংসদ office today. They discussed a set of bilateral issues including trade, women's empowerment and tourism. Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhry said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is working relentlessly to empower women, and as part of the Speaker. The envoy laid emphasis on tours of individuals between the two countries to exchange information relating to development. The ambassador said Thailand will cooperate in boosting Bangladesh's free trade with South and Southeast Asian nations. Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said government wants to take Bangladesh in such a position which makes the world astonished. He said this while inaugurating Bangabandhu Corner at Bangladesh Betar Bhavan at Agarga in the capital today. Dr. Hassan Mahmood said Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina announces that none in the country will remain homeless during the Mujib War show. He said Bangladesh's development surprised others as the country progressed several steps under the present government.
মুজিব বর্ষের শেষান্তে বাংলাদেশে আর কোনো গৃহহীন মানুষ থাকবে না। মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী বঙ্গবন্ধু কন্যা আরেকটি কথা বলেছেন, আমরা দেশকে এমনভাবে উন্নত করব পৃথিবীর মানুষ যেন অবাক বিস্ময়ে তাকিয়ে থাকে। আজকে বাংলাদেশে নিজস্ব অর্থায়নে পদ্মা সেতু নির্মিত হচ্ছে। বিশ্বব্যাংক অবাক নয় হতবাক হয়ে গেছে। তারা মনে করেছিল তারা অর্থায়ন প্রত্যাহার করলে পদ্মা সেতু হবে না, কিন্তু পদ্মা সেতু নিজস্ব অর্থায়নে করে মাননীয় প্রধানমন্ত্রী আমাদের জাতির সক্ষমতা প্রমাণ করেছেন এবং বিশ্বের অর্থলগ্নিকারী প্রতিষ্ঠানগুলো যারা তৃতীয় বিশ্বের দেশগুলোর অর্থনীতিকে কুক্ষিগত করে রাখতে চায় তাদের প্রতিও বৃদ্ধাঙ্গুলি প্রদর্শন করেছে।
Director General of Bangladesh Betar, Hosni Ara Talukdar, chaired the function, which was also addressed by its director Ahmed Kamruzaman. Earlier, the Information Minister talked with the media workers about arrest of a journalist in Kurigram.
যেভাবে একজন সাংবাদিককে ঘর থেকে ধরে নিয়ে গিয়ে রাতের বেলা অন্যত্র কোর্ট বসিয়ে শাস্তি দেওয়া হয়েছে, এটি আমার দৃষ্টিতে কোনোভাবেই বিধিসম্মত হয়নি। মধ্যরাতে মোবাইল কোর্ট অন্যত্র বসানো যায় না বলে অ্যাটর্নি জেনারেল ইতিমধ্যেই বলেছেন, এবং যেভাবে এই ঘটনাটি ঘটানো হয়েছে এটি কোনোভাবেই সমর্থনযোগ্য নয়। তিনি যেই হন না কেন, যদি আইন বহির্ভূতভাবে কোনো কাজ করে থাকেন তার বিরুদ্ধে সরকার ব্যবস্থা গ্রহণ করবে।
Institute of Epidemiology, Disease Control and Research IEDCR Director Professor Mirzadi Sabrina Flora has said directives were given for implementing of compulsory quarantine for all returnees from coronavirus epicenter countries. There is no compromise in this regard. She told this at a regular press briefing at the IEDCR office in the capital today. She said that a total of 2,314 people have been kept in home quarantine across the country so far under strict monitoring of local administrations. A total of 4 people are in institutional quarantine while 10 are in isolation, she added. Dr. Flora informed that the new infected 2 who were detected last night are doing well. Meanwhile, Health Minister Zahid Malik urged countrymen to follow the directives of the ministries without being panicked. Meanwhile, Health Minister Zahid Malik urged countrymen to follow the directives of the ministries without being panicked. He was talking to the reporters after an emergency meeting on prevention of coronavirus at the ministry with representatives from 18 countries. Zahid Malik said different ministries have been requested to take steps to prevent the spread of the deadly virus and suggested people to avoid public transports if they suffer from fever, cough and cold. The minister said the government has kept several hospitals ready to deal with coronavirus patients.
Now international news. More than 5,800 people have now died globally from the coronavirus as it continues spreading around the world. Most of these cases and deaths are still in mainland China, but the situation there appears to be stabilizing, with only 25 new cases on Saturday. Life in China is beginning to return to normal now that the coronavirus outbreak has largely been contained across the country, with lockdowns lifting and employees returning to work. Instead, the outbreak is worsening in other parts of the world, like the US and Italy. 10 deaths were reported in China on Saturday, bringing the total number of fatalities in the country to 3,199. China has now identified 80,849 coronavirus patients. The whole of Italy, a country of some 60 million people, has been placed under quarantine as the government steps up efforts to tackle a coronavirus outbreak that has affected more than 21,000 people and left 1,441 dead in the country. South Korea identified 76 new coronavirus patients and 3 deaths on Saturday, bringing the national death toll to 66. In Iran, deaths from corona outbreak has reached 375. There are at least 2,816 cases of the novel coronavirus in the United States, according to the state and local health agencies, governments, and the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. A total of 58 people have died. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump's coronavirus test came back negative Saturday, according to White House physician Sean P. Conley. Besides, Spain's government has postponed its plan to release Taliban prisoners, a senior official said, a decision that could sabotage a deal signed last month between the armed group and the United States. Javed Faisal, a spokesman for the National Security Council, 100 Taliban prisoners would be freed as a gesture of goodwill in an attempt to resolve one of the longest-running disputes with the armed group that had stalled intra-Afghan peace talks. Ghani's decree said the government would release 1,500 captives starting Saturday if the Taliban reduced violence, with plans to free another 3,500 prisoners after negotiations begin.
Back to national news. Foreign Minister Dr. Abdul Momen has said father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, not only founded an independent and sovereign country, also had a capacity to translate his dream of building Shonar Bangla into reality and transmit it to others too. The Foreign Minister was speaking as the chief guest at a seminar titled Bangabandhu's Unfinished Memoirs, a review organized by Bangladesh Institute of International and Strategic Studies, BIISS, in the capital today. Ambassador M. Fazlur Karim presided over the seminar, while BIISS Director General Mohammad Emdadul Bari delivered the welcome speech. Polli Kormosh at the inaugural session. The Foreign Minister said the basic characteristic of Bangabandhu is that he always stood for justice and fairness. Commerce Minister Tipu Munshi said any Human Rights Day 2020 at the conference room of Commerce Ministry in Dhaka today. Tipu Munshi inaugurated the hotline 16121. With Commerce Secretary Dr. Mohammad Jafaruddin in the chair, Dhaka Divisional Commissioner Mohammad Mustafizur Rahman, FBCCI President Sheikh Fazle Fahim, CAB President Ghulam Rahman, cricketer Shakib Al Hassan, amongst others, spoke on the occasion. He said the government is working relentlessly to ensure consumer rights as well as business-friendly environment. The minister also laid emphasis on working in combined to reap the full benefit of the Act.
The government of Bangladesh and the Asian Development Bank, ADB, signed a loan agreement of $400 million to upgrade the Dhaka Northwest International Trade Corridor in the country. Economic Relations Division, ERD Secretary Fatima Yasmin and ADB Country Director Manmohan Prakash inked the loan agreement on behalf of their respective sides at a function at the ERD in the capital today. At the agreement signing ceremony, Manmohan Prakash said this project is part of a priority international transport corridor that connects Bangladesh with Bhutan, India and Nepal. On now to some weather. Met Office says rain or thunder showers accompanied by temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at 1 or 2 places over Khulna, Rajshahi, Mymensingh, Borishal and Sylhet divisions tomorrow. Weather may remain mainly dry with temporary partly cloudy sky elsewhere over the country. Today's maximum temperature of the country was recorded 36.7 degrees Celsius at Teknaf and minimum was 17.2 degrees Celsius at Dimla in Nilphamari. Night and day temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country in the next 24 hours. On now to some sports news. Abahoni Limited, Prime Dholeshwar Sporting Club and Old DOHS Sports Club won their respective matches in the Bangabandhu Dhaka Premier League cricket today. Abahoni beat Patek Sporting Club by 81 runs at Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium. Chasing a victory target of 290 runs, Patex were all out for 208 runs in 48 overs and 4 balls. Earlier, Abahoni batted first and scored 289 runs for 7 in their stipulated 50 overs. Mushfiqur Rahim scored 127 for Abahoni. At Shavar BKSP, Old DOHS defeated Legends of Rupganj by 25 runs in another match of the day. Old DOHS batted first and scored 230 for all in 49 overs. In reply, Legends of Rupganj managed to score 205 runs before being dismissed in their stipulated 50 overs. Prime Dholeshwar Sporting Club beat Brothers Union by 8 runs in the third match of the day at Fotulla. Prime Dholeshwar Sporting batted first and scored 238 for 7 in their stipulated 50 overs. In reply, Brothers Union were all out for 230. To end the bulletin, here again are the headlines. SAARC leaders join video conference to fix up combined strategy facing coronavirus. India proposes to create regional fund. Strong collaboration and coordinated efforts among SAARC countries needed to fight corona outbreak, says Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Government mulls shutting educational institutions to check corona outbreak, says Obaidul Qadir. Bangladesh achieves huge progress in several development index, says Information Minister Dr. Hassan Mahmood. "14-day quarantine must for all returnees from corona outbreak countries," says IEDCR. Coronavirus death toll crosses 5,800 worldwide, normalcy returning in China gradually. And in Bangabandhu Dhaka Premier League cricket, Abahoni, Prime Dholeshwar and Old DOHS win their respective matches.
And that's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We invite you to watch our next bulletin in Bangla at 11:30 p.m. Until then, Allah Hafiz.